Hi, my name is Robert Woods. I'm the CEO at Advanced Interplay, or better known as Teh Elk on the North American servers. And today we're going to be discussing how to become a more competitive League of Legends player. It's presented by us here at Advanced Interplay. First of all, let's start off by talking about your gameplay in general. Each of your games should be fun, not frustrating. I can't tell you how many times people come to me, they complain about the game because it's very frustrating and they don't seem to understand what their teammates are doing or how they can win a game and they feel helpless. And this is not how you should feel. You should be enjoying the game. That's why you play League after all, is to have fun. So would you rather enjoy a game or become frustrated over mistakes that you don't understand? Well, naturally, the one response for that would be, I would rather enjoy the game and just play. And you know, one of the best ways to become more competitive at the game and just smash on people and to enjoy it better is, have a coach. If you have someone that knows the game, who's been around the game for a long time, they're obviously going to be able to teach you things and impart things on you that'll make you a better player. And obviously, being a good player, smashing people, having fun, carrying your games is a really good way to have fun playing. And so, one of the greatest opportunities you can have out there is to find a player that's a little bit better than you and have them teach you their ways and how they do it. A coach, there's a lot of people out there that coach or claim to coach or mentor people. A coach should always help correct your mistakes. I can't emphasize this enough. Everybody has mistakes that are unique and individual to them. Everybody isn't like one size fits all. Everybody makes the same mistakes day in, day out. No, everybody has individual mistakes, and coaching should correct those individual mistakes just for you. For example, I get a lot of people that come to me and say, hey, I went to this other place and I paid $50 an hour for this guy to coach me, and, he gave me really general basic tips, and it was basically stuff I already knew, and he expected me to pay him $50, and it was the biggest ripoff I've ever done. We don't do that here at Advanced Interplay. We don't boost. A lot of places just boost your status. That doesn't make you a better player. Sure, it looks good on paper, but do you really want to just say, oh, yeah, I had some guy boost me into Diamond and now I get my ass whipped every game? No, you don't want that. So we're going to talk about what makes a coach so effective for you. And what makes a coach effective is the ability to address your specific mistakes. By addressing your specific mistakes, we can correct them and make you a better player in the long run. So obviously the ultimate goal is to become a top tier player. Well, first we have to discuss what makes a top tier player. Well, here at Advanced Interplay, we describe a top tier player as a player that's in about gold, platinum, or diamonds or above. Now a lot of people may be saying, gold, is that really a or is that really considered a top tier player? If you're in gold, why do you guys consider that a top tier player? Well, the distribution of players is more skewed than many people really understand. Obviously, if you look at the stats, what separates the top tier players from everyone else? Well, we define it as gold. If you look at the stats, 10% of the summoners are in a gold league or above. That's 10% of the entire players. 90% of the players are in bronze and silver. So if you're in the top 10% of the games, or in the game, you're really in gold and up. So we define that as a top player. Obviously, being platinum or diamond is way more accomplishing, but just even getting to gold makes you a great player already, and a lot of people don't understand that. And we at Advanced Interplay really feel that people need to understand that you are already in the top 10th percentile. That's a huge accomplishment and something you should be proud of. But hey, let's look to the future. Let's look at platinum and diamond. Everybody wants to be there, and we'll get you there. So then it comes down, what do I do to become a better League of Legends player? I want to become more competitive. I want to get to platinum. I want to get to diamond. Well, in order to become a better League of Legends player, you have to look at the players that are better than you, see what they do, and learn from them. Let's talk about the professional players. Almost every League of Legends professional player does similar things to become a better player. They all do very similar exercises, activities that make them good players, top players, that makes them the best, and that's why they get paid to play. So what are the steps that every pro player performs to become a better player? What do they do? Well, here at Advanced Interplay, we study this, we market it, and this is what we do. This is what we live and breathe. We live and breathe League of Legends and esports. And this is what we've discovered, that almost every single top tier player does this to stay at the top of their game. And these 3 tips are just amazing, and these are what they are. Alright, so the first one here is entering the right mindset. Now this may seem really simple, it may seem kind of silly, okay, but really think about it. I can't tell you how many people come to me and say, oh my goodness, that last game I lost because my teammates were so stupid and they fed. You have that negative mindset. Entering a game with a positive winning mindset is half the battle. If you enter the game with that negative losing mindset going into the next game or the game after that, how can you have the determination to focus and win the game? If you're just sitting there and you're complaining oh, my teammates, they feed, they don't call MIA, for one, you should know if the enemy's missing, but you can't sit there and blame your teammates for losing a game. It just doesn't work like that. It's a team game for a reason, and yeah, sometimes mistakes are made, but if you have a positive mindset about what you need to do next, you'll get over that mistake and you'll look towards the ultimate goal, which is winning the game. The more games you win, the better you climb, etc., etc., but you can't enter a game with a mindset saying, oh my goodness, I hate my teammates, I'm going to have to carry them again, this guy picked Karma mid, and oh my goodness, it's just you have to focus on what you need to do to win the game and not the negative aspects. And obviously all professional players are very serious, very focused about the game, and that's why they have the right mindset every time they enter a game. They are focused and they are ready to win, and that's really, really important. Now the second thing that almost all pro players do, as well as a lot of the top tier players and Challenger and Diamond and Gold and Platinum, is they understand a lot about the game. They have a great game knowledge, and really knowledge is power. The more you know about the game, the better you get at it, and the more you can understand. A lot of times people say, okay, like, what's the challenge? Like, why am I losing here? It's because my teammates are feeding. Like, this is what you think the challenge is. It's really not that big of a challenge. Like, oh, my teammates are feeding. But really, what in reality it is, it's like an iceberg. There is so much more to it than just the one thing. Knowing every little thing about the game is really important, and it'll help you win at everything. There's always room to learn. There's always room to learn. I learn something new about the game every day, and I'm in Diamond 1. It's ridiculous. I always learn something. I still get smashed occasionally, and I have to learn from someone that's better than me. Knowing the 6 basic questions, who, what, when, where, why, and how, helps you gain a better understanding. Knowledge is power provides several advantages, including lots of things like counters to other champions, the best team comps for a situation, for example, when to pick Janna, when to pick someone else, like better item builds, the most effective for the lane matchup or to cause lots of damage, or what to do, what to build next, better understanding of the timers in the game for important objectives, when to rotate, when to push, when not to push. Knowledge is power. That is the most important thing in the game. One of the most important things in the game is knowing knowledge is power. The more you know, if you have a plan on what to do next, odds are you're going to be a lot more effective on it than the other person if he doesn't have a plan. If you have an action to go A, B, C, D, you're going to become one of the best players in the game because you're going to know what you need to do next and why you need to do next. Of course, mechanical skill helps back that up, but for the most part, if you know what you're supposed to do next, you're going to beat the other guy next to you if he doesn't know what he's supposed to do, and that's just how it goes. Now, one of the other things that all pro players do is they do video analysis, or they do replay analysis, or they focus on other teams and they analyze their teams and their videos and stuff like that. And this is really, really, really important to making sure you become an all-around better player. It goes back to knowledge is power. If you're looking at the enemies, the other teams, for example, you're in a tournament, you're looking at the other first-place teams' videos on what they did right, what they did wrong, you'll learn about that team and what you need to do to beat them. Look at the LCS, for example. All the pro teams will talk about how they have analysts and how they go over their gameplay after each week and what they did wrong and what they did right and what they need to improve on for the next week. Video analysis is a tool that every professional League of Legends player uses. Like, bottom line, they may have an analyst that helps them, but every professional League of Legends player looks at their videos to see what they did right and wrong. There's so many advantages that come off these. It's just absolutely mind-blowing, and this is why it's so important. You see your positioning in regards to the opponents. It may sound really basic, but you'll understand why an opponent was acting that way in lane. Maybe they were acting a little bit different because there was a gank incoming, or maybe like the other jungler was close to their red buff, so they started playing a little bit more aggressive, or they started to push up so they could go out and help. You get to see your vision compared to their vision, see how they act when you walked over a ward or what they have warded, so you know when to do something and why to do it, where good places to counter pink wards are and stuff like that. You have big map objectives, like how you handled the objective. Maybe you died, maybe you barely got dragon, but you lost 3 people for it. There's so many things you can look at to see how you can correct them and better yourself for the next game that you go. There's so many options here, and it goes so in depth. You see basically game after game, and you can break it down and find your individual mistakes. Find out what items the enemy team has and why it's been affecting you. Check to see basic things, little things that you miss. Maybe you missed the jungler passing by your ward and you got ganked and you thought, how did he come? Or something like that. You get to see what was taken by the other team and at what time, so you can counter it for the next game to make sure they don't get that early free dragon or something like that. There's so many options, so many incredible options that you can get with video analysis. It's really, really important that you learn how to do this. It's really crucial to do this the right way. You'll get so much information out of it and become a better League of Legends player. So after all these, you come down to it's like, okay, well, I know I got to review my videos. I really know I have to start learning more about the game, knowledge is power, and all this other stuff. Where do I start to become a better League of Legends player? Well, really, it's quite simple. Here at Advanced Interplay, we are here and we study this, and this is what we live, we breathe, we eat League of Legends and esports. We are absolutely sure that we developed a system so that we can break down each and every individual mistake that you make and how to correct it, how to identify it, and make sure that we're going the right way to see you on improvement. And it basically comes down to, are you ready to see results by improving your gameplay? I mean, we absolutely design this, we break it down, we make sure that you get what you need to become a better player and figure out what you're doing wrong. The best way to look at it, it's like a peer review. Say, for example, you're writing an essay or something like that. You may think your essay's fine, and then you turn it into your teacher for that first rough draft, and the teacher gives you a little correct and sends it back to you. You get your paper back, and it's bleeding blood red, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, what did I do wrong? It all comes down to peer review. People are often blind to stuff that they see themselves because they're a little bit biased to it, but if you bring in a third outside party to look at it for you, they're going to find many tendencies that you make, many problems with it, or many complications or stuff like that, so you can see what you're doing wrong. And having that unbiased party can really come in and really make sure that we find the mistakes that you continually make and we work on correcting them together. Like I said, all this stuff is really important. It helps make you a better player. It helps make you more competitive. And if you want to improve, then us here at Advanced Interplay, we're the guys to get you there. We really do live, breathe, eat. Everything around our lives is associated around League of Legends and esports. And we really worked on this for a long time. And we're positive it's going to help you improve and become a more competitive player. If you're looking for growth, look no further than us at Advanced Interplay. If you have any more questions, feel free to visit us at www.advancedinterplay.com. Visit our FAQ and services page to see which service best suits you. If you have more specific questions, visit our contact us page and send us an email. It all comes down to analyze, educate, advance, and that's us here at Advanced Interplay. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys really do start analyzing your videos and looking at it so you guys can become a better League of Legends player and more competitive and get to where you want to be. Thanks for watching, guys.